Hey guys, how you doing? It's Angelo Bash, and yes, I finally finished watching and this review for all you fans out there, for all my Star Wars geeks and nerds and what's. I went to go see Solo, and was it a magnificent movie? Just to let you guys know, this is Angelo Bash. I'm back. This is going to be a short spoiler review for the movie Han Solo. Wait, wow, I can't even get this right. So I went to the actual fan event, and it was actually a marvelous thing to see. The things that you're going to notice about this film right away is that this is an original story. So there has nothing been written. I mean, there's been books about it, well, pretty much after the 3 sagas. Books about everything, but have been disbanded since Disney took over Star Wars. So for them to do this concept of this reality of Han Solo, Solo, is kind of really interesting in the fact that we don't really know how Han becomes Han. We know how he is from the first 3 introducing Star Wars: The New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and of course my favorite, Return of the Jedi. When you go to the fan event, I got so blessed. I got the dices. These are the actual dices from the series. They gave it to everyone that went to the event. So if you guys went to the event, you guys might have these. If you don't, that's too bad on you guys. So pretty much they gave us little stuff when you go to the fan event. So I recommend you guys to go to any fan event. If you live in Orlando area, Disney Springs, they always have fan events for first movies that come out, especially for a series like this. So please, I am representing AMC. Anyways, back to the story. So this thing, you see a lot of things in there that kind of will excite you a lot as a fan, because I grew up watching Star Wars. I wasn't born in the 70s, so I didn't see it when it first came out. But when I was a kid, I loved sci-fi, I loved science fiction, I loved fantasy. So, of course, one of the best series that I ever watched was, of course, Star Wars. And I have fell in love with it. I have divulged in the history of Star Wars before the website changed and everything, got quinky and worky and everything like that. I searched everything. I was one of those little. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a nerd. A little bit of nerd, but I'm still cool and fly and jockey. But honestly, it was a great movie. I recommend anyone who is a fan of Star Wars truly watch this film. It is magnificent. There are a few cute things that I want to talk about the film that make this film really good. This film was honestly very good. I give it a 4-star rated. The dice. The first scene that you see is he driving the speeder. Of course, we've seen that in the trailer. But the thing to know is that he gets a lot of his backstory, and that's what makes this movie very, very important on how or why this film is very good. Is the fact that they divulge into his backstory, and they also show important images as they do it. So once you see the dice hanging from the rearview mirror, the first scene you see it. Then once the speeder passes, the camera pans up, and you see the building of the Death Star. I mean the destroyers, the first destroyers of the empires. That's where they're on a planet where they construct all that stuff. So that's very important imaging, because a lot of these imagings are actually really makes this film really awesome. Another imaging that you'll see, of course, is Han Solo's famous gun. You see it being assembled by taking part of a rifle, and it's really awesome because you're like, what the hell? This is a really awesome backstory, and it gets really well in the detail orientated. The other stuff, doesn't matter, because that's not really what we're concerned about. And especially his name. Who in the right mind came up with Han Solo? The name Han Solo. That's not an actual name. Maybe Han would be a name if you thought about it. But Solo, who decides to become Solo? So you find out that when he actually he applies to, because he fails to attempt, him and his girl, to escape the planet. He does, she doesn't. So he decides to join the the Empire and try to become a pilot. And the funny thing is the officer asks him his name, and the thing is that he's a runaway, so he doesn't have. And he asks him, "What's your people? What's your origin?" And he said nothing, because he's a loner. He doesn't have anybody. He only had himself. And so an interesting thing what the officer does is that he says, Han Solo. I went, ooh! I geeked out a little bit when they said that, because I was like, ooh! And then of course, how he meets Chewie. Like, you don't even think that you meet Chewie the way he meets him, but I'm not gonna ruin that for you. It's gonna be truly awesome. So that spoiler, I'm gonna ruin it. You're gonna watch it, and you're gonna love it. Overall, the acting was superb. They got a lot of people to do this and put a lot of effort into this film, and it's really incredible. And the fact that this one is the only one besides Rogue One that I accept as it is. Because the reason why I say that is because a lot of people, when it's a Star Wars film, they expect that lightsaber battle and like royale going on. And honestly, yes, that is very important. If you're gonna make a Star Wars film, there has to be there has to be some like a small part, but like some lightsaber duel. And this one, you're not gonna expect it. So fans, I'm sorry to spoil that for you, but you ain't gonna expect that, because this is the original story of Han Solo. So of course you're not gonna see any Jedis in this film. But you're gonna start to see a certain aspects of imagery, like I just said earlier, leading up to the birth of the rebellion, or at least part of a rebellion. People need to tend to remember the only thing that's part of the canon story for the whole Star Wars trilogy. Rogue One is also part of this trilogy. Believe it or not, it is canon. Rebels is also canon. And so, like, that's why everything that if you watch all this stuff, and even the Clone Wars have been canon. So everything that happens in those series, even though it's an animated series, it's very important to the imagery and leads up to the 3 films, 4, 5, and 6, and also Return of the Jedi. But no, Return of the Jedi, the next 3. But those 3 are not, the new 3 are not important, because, you know, we still haven't got the last film, The Last Jedi, and can't remember the other one. Force Awakens. Thank you very much. But this is a very awesome film. The biggest spoiler of this film. Are you ready for it, ladies and gentlemen? Are you ready? I don't know. Are they ready? I don't think they're ready. They're not ready. Are you ready? Okay, the biggest spoiler is Darth Maul makes an appearance, which kind of excites me and scares me in a sense, because if you guys remember in Rebels, they show Darth Maul in there. Clone Wars showed Darth Maul in there, but then in the Rebel series, Darth Maul does die. So where does this lead up to the rebellion? And that's what the important question for you is that there's multiple rebellions happening all over across the universe. And if you haven't noticed, the name Star Wars kind of gives it away. Star Wars. There's always a war going on. It's about independence. It's about freedom for something, for culture, for a star system, for life itself. And that's what Star Wars is about. And that's why Disney did a smart thing to buy this series, because they can do so many side stories to it and still possibly do some canons. So honestly, the way that they leave it at the end has me believing that there might, depending on how it receives from the audience and critics and everything like that, then they might be continuing that story, continuing his story, because, you know, he's a younger Han compared to Harrison Ford's version of Han. They're both similar in the same way, but it's showing a different Han that we're not really used to. We're used to his like scoundrel, like antics, like wise ass. But in this film, it also shows what Han truly is. Actually, Han is actually he's a really good person in the inside. But he has to fight it, because you have to remember, he is a smuggler. He's been in that lifestyle for so long, and he's been burned by so many people. And of course, this film shows a great introduction to that. So, like, Han has a lot of trust issues, which happens when you're a smuggler or, like, you know, a thief or anything like that. You don't believe anyone. You only trust yourself, because only yourself can't betray yourself. So that's the thing. A lot of spoilers. Oh my god, the android is fucking hilarious. I'm not gonna say more than that, but I don't know what it is about these androids, but they are truly magnificent. Freedom. Awesome. So I'm gonna leave that to you guys. I hope you guys watch it. If you guys watch this, I'm sorry, this was a spoiler review, and you decided to watch it, so it's not my problem. Hope I get to see you again. It's truly magnificent film. Watch it, absorb it, and then in a galaxy far, far away, I'm a segue out. Hope you guys going. Angelo Bash is signing off.